Ferdinand de Magellan was an experienced Portuguese navigator. At the end of the 15th century, he fell out with the King of Portugal, pledging allegiance instead to the Spanish sovereign, the future Charles V. At that time, the two countries fought to seize new territories. The Pope then delineated the Spanish sphere of influence to the west and the Portuguese zone to the east in the Treaty of Tordesillas. Magellan wanted to prove to the King of Spain that he could seize the coveted Maluku Islands by sailing from the west, thus still respecting the terms of the treaty. It was uncharted territory. On 10th August 1519, Magellan left Seville with a fleet of 5 ships and 237 men crossing the Atlantic. In October 1520, he discovered the passage between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans that would bear his name. Crossing the Pacific was a much longer journey than he'd imagined. For 4 months, with no land in sight, scurvy decimated the crew. In March 1521, Magellan finally discovered the Philippines. 1 month later, he was killed by indigenous people on the island of Mactan who refused to submit to the Spanish crown. Now guided by Spaniard Juan Sebastian Elcano, the last 2 ships reached the Spice Islands in November, loading up with rare products including cloves, cinnamon, ginger and nutmeg. The crew continued westward, crossing the Indian Ocean and rounding Africa. Finally, 3 years after departing, the Victoria, the only remaining ship, reached Spain with only 18 survivors on board. They had just completed the first round world voyage in history.